Welcome to Box Free with Stephanie. Today I want to show you how to make some basic foods with simple ingredients from scratch, and I hope you discover cooking box free is fast and delicious. Today we are going to make chocolate date balls, because I got some dates in here, got some nuts in here, and they're just kind of a healthy, sweet thing to eat. So I'm going to do it in a food processor because that's the best way to do date balls in my opinion. So I'm going to take 1 cup of walnuts, and I prefer, whoopsie, that's a little bit more. I like walnuts in my date balls because they're soft, so they grind up really nicely, and they don't have a super strong flavor in my opinion. So I like them for that reason. And then I need 6 large dates. So I'm going to kind of dump these out and get my biggest ones. There's one way at the bottom. I want that one. Okay, so these are Medjool dates, and the lovely thing about Medjool dates is when they're soft, they are seriously almost like a caramel. They're just so sweet and soft and just absolutely delicious. This one's a little bit dried out, but mine are not pitted, so I have to go through each one, and you just grab them with your fingernails and rip them open and grab your pit, and then sometimes they have a little top. So far none of these, this one does. So right there is the little bitty stem, I guess you'd call it, not the top. So you got to take the little stem out and the pit. The stem would actually probably grind up, but boy, this pit, here's another one, there's another little stem. The pit would definitely not grind up and would not be good for your food processor and all that stuff. So this one's pretty soft. You can see like it's just so soft, and it's just like, it tastes like caramel. So they're just really good. So they're a really good sweetener if you're doing like a sugar substitute or kind of the whole raw food concept. And if you just want some sweet treat, I oftentimes will just like rip this open, and then I'll take a walnut or two and like jam it in, close it up, and throw it in my mouth for a quick little snack. So my hands are really sticky. Hang on a second. So I like to have dates in the house all the time, and you can buy them really at almost any grocery store now. They're not like a specialty item, so you can get them right in town here. It's not that big of a deal. It's pretty nice, and you can even get the Medjool dates in town. So, and again, the Medjool dates are just bigger and softer, and therefore a little bit nicer, I think. They're nicer to eat, and they're nicer to kind of cook with or raw food cook with, because they're just so nice and good. But even if you have to buy the kind in the box, you know, like by the raisins and stuff, they'd probably be fine too, especially for this kind of thing where you really are chopping them up. It's just that if some of your dates are very old or dry, this might need more oil or just more water in general. So I did 2 tablespoons of cocoa powder in there, and now I'm doing 1 teaspoon of coconut oil, which this is a pretty hefty teaspoon, so I guess I should go down a little. I don't always measure this too perfectly because this is kind of like my binding agent, is my coconut oil. So if I'm a little bit heavy, I don't think it's going to matter. And I'm going to basically see what my consistency is like, and then decide if I want more. So I'm going to food process this thing for, I don't know, 30 seconds, as long as it takes. But as soon as I hit it, I think the cocoa powder is going to be like all over, and it's going to make a huge mess. Hopefully it won't come like squeezing out the sides, but you're just going to grind this until everything is smooth and it's like a thick paste. So here we go. I'm going to pulse it first just because I always like my cocoa powder to like get mixed in a tiny bit. And then my oil was one big kind of blob, and this gets firm like less than 72 degrees or whatever. So I want it to be soft enough, and hopefully this heat will be enough to blend that all together. Okay, so now I'm just going to turn it on. Okay, so that's been about 20 seconds, and I can try to show you. It's very granular still, and it looks, I don't know, we don't even know what it looks like. It looks like sand, or really coarse sand, and we don't really want that yet. So we want this to be, I want it to be a little bit finer. I guess if you want a chunky date ball, then you'd be done, but I'm going to keep going. Okay, so it's getting a little bit better. So I've done it for probably a total of maybe 30 seconds, maybe 40, but now you can see that it's finer, and this would probably be pretty good. In fact, why don't I just take a little sample? They're like really nice and cocoa-y kind of. So I think that's nice. These recipes you just totally adjust. If it's not like sweet enough or whatever, just add more dates. That's kind of how you could get more sweetness. Add less cocoa powder if it's too rich. So I'm going to go another like 20 seconds and see if I can get it even smoother. So here we go. Okay, now if you can see, it's kind of like clumping and kind of almost like falling into each other. So I'm going to call that done. So let me push that over here and take my little blade out. Okay, so now I should really push this into a bowl. All right, so I'm going to dump that in there. And I don't know, my original recipe said like put in a bowl and make sure it's all mixed. But I'm like, how can I mix it any better than my food processor? But I still do it. I throw it in a bowl and I do this and I feel better about it. So it's kind of silly. But whatever. Plus then I know my blade is gone. I'm not going to like cut my finger. Okay, so now I feel like this is a nice, smoother, softer consistency. So you'll just have to experiment. If you like kind of that chunky date ball, then you're done after the first 20 seconds. Okay, so then you can do the little scoop thing and just scoop it out, kind of do a nice little reshaping if you want to. And this makes about 9 or 10 of these things, but I don't always like them so huge like this. I would call this like a 1-inch ball. So I'm going to use my itty bitty, how big is this puppy? I don't know, a teaspoon we'll say. I mean, it looks like about a teaspoon. Okay, so this way you get that size, which in my opinion is pretty much a bite size. One biter, or also known as bite size. So look at the difference. I mean, this would be like really hard to eat. So don't always make the big ones. Depends, I guess, on what I'm doing with them. Like if I'm traveling with them, I like these little itty bitty ones because then they're like not messy. If you bite into this and you get any crumbles and you're in the car or whatever, that could be a real hassle. And if you don't have a little scooper, you just grab it with your hands and roll it in a ball. And then your hands get all this nice coconut oil all over them. And then you can just use it like lotion. Rub it on your hands. Don't even bother washing them. No, you should probably wash them. Okay, and then you can do any shape you want. If you wanted to make little logs, oh, maybe that's not very appetizing looking. Look at that, that's not so good. Okay, but you could make little like date bars, we could call them. Little date bars, or you can't really call them a gold bar because it's not very gold, but basically my point is any shape. If you had little, any little silicone molds, you could press them in the mold, like a heart-shaped mold would be really cute, or anything, whatever. But I generally just do a ball because it's easy and Usually I use my little scoops, but I don't know. I like the coconut oil on my hands. It's good for them. And then all I'm going to do is put these in the fridge and let them firm up, because now my coconut oil is definitely soft. That's what's making my hands all greasy and shiny. And so I don't really want them to be soft like that. So I always keep mine in the fridge, because then my coconut oil gets firm, and then these aren't, you don't grab it and it's like, squishes down, you know, like that's not very fun. You want it to have some, what's the word? I don't know, strength or gripability or something, you know, some firmness, so that when you actually go to eat it, it doesn't just lose its shape and become squished as you're reaching to put it in your mouth. But that's it. Oh, and then I was going to say, most date balls always have coconut, or they roll them in coconut. So go ahead and do that. If you love coconut and you want to do coconut, you could roll them in coconut right now. You could add coconut to your mixture and then just see how that consistency works out. But dates and coconut are super common. But this is a recipe that I do a lot when I don't have coconut in the house, which is today. So I'm not doing coconut, so I have this recipe, and I think it's just dandy. So that's it. Got some nice, good oil on my hands here. Okay, that's it. I'm gonna, oh, I should maybe taste one again, huh? Just to make sure. I'll taste this little chunk of a bar. Excuse me. So I love this recipe, how smooth it is and how chocolatey, but like completely not sweet it is. It's not like a cookie, which is what I tend to like a lot. I mean the not cookie taste. So again, these are it. Just your little chocolate date ball if you want a little healthy, fun snack that you can take anywhere you need to. That's it. It's super fast. So thanks for watching Box Free with Stephanie. I hope you like the show. I hope you make little chocolate date balls and your family thinks they're really smooth and really delicious, because they really are. And thanks for watching the show. I'll catch you guys next time. Bye.